Hey, it's the Rican, and I'm filming on location. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just recording while I'm waiting for, uh, anyone who knows I have a special needs son, so I have to take him to therapy on a couple times a week. So I'm probably going to see more of these videos. Um, Probably especially when the weather gets nice, that I could go somewhere nice on location to film. But with the weather being as cold as it is here, it is currently like 18 degrees. So um, I warmed up the car enough that you don't see my breath. But anyways, that's not what you're watching my video for. I just go on rants. Um, this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this story here. RNC is suing New York City over non-citizen voting rights legislation. Anyone who hasn't been paying attention, anyone that doesn't live in the Northeast, may not know, but New York City passed a law allowing non-citizens the right to vote. Thing is, they said it's going to be like 800,000 people, which I think is probably on the low end. Anyone who's lived in New York City before knows this. So you see here from the article, on Sunday, newly appointed Mayor Eric Adams granted into law a piece of legislation that enables more than 800,000 non-citizens living in New York City the right to vote in local elections. Excuse me. And here was what the RNC, here's what the RNC said. American elections should be decided by American citizens. If Democrats can subvert elections this flagrantly, America's largest city, they can do it anywhere. The RNC is suing Democrats try to attack the basic security of your ballot. Here's the whole thing. Look, if you're not a citizen of this country, I'm sorry, you're asked out. You have no say so in what our elections should be. There's nothing you should be voting on because technically you're not supposed to be here. I mean, you could be here, you're supposed to be here temporarily, legal green card or whatnot, but you're not a citizen. And until you get citizenship, you don't have a say so. That plain and simple. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You want to vote, you want to be here, you apply to be a citizen. But to vote, no. And this is the whole thing. I mean, this is part of the game plan, what's going on. Why do you think the Democrats are okay with allowing millions of illegal immigrants in this country? Do you think, excuse me, do you think New York City will be the only city that's going to allow illegals to vote? What about California? You don't think California is going to allow illegals to vote? This is the whole thing. California has like the largest illegal population in the country. Okay. And with all their losses, okay, with all the people moving out of their state, they still gained one House seat, one electoral vote. Okay. So the fact that they're counting their illegals means that they are getting more representation in the House. They're getting an extra electoral college vote. So in a sense, because they wouldn't allow a citizenship question in the censorship, I mean in the censor. Oh my goodness. Mouth was a little dry. Yeah, so because of that, now we're in, California benefits from illegal immigration. They got, millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people moving out, but they have millions of illegals coming in. So it cancels out the losses they're getting. Granted, let's say there's nobody from the rest of the country moving over there. But so, there's less people moving there that are moving out. There's more illegals going in there. Okay. So this cancels out all the people that are leaving. So why is this a big deal? This is a big deal because you already see what's going on. If New York, if this law is allowed to stand in New York, let's say, for example, they go, oops, we didn't mean for it starts in New York City. So it's supposed to be for New York City. But who's to say that they're gonna stop at just letting it in New York City? It's gonna bleed out to the state, because what they're gonna go, oh well, they should have, if they're having this and if they're having a say in the local election in the city, then they should have a say so in the state. And what's going to happen? It's already the fact that New York City has way too much power over the rest of New York State. It's going to make it even more powerful. And that's is going to bleed over from the city to the state, then to the federal. Because once they start introducing that it's okay for non-citizens to vote in your local elections, they're going to push it. They're going to push it on. It's not going to end with they're not going to just be happy with the city elections. You give them an inch, they take a mile. That's what's going on. So that's why this is so important. That's why people need to be up at arms. The RNC needs to win this. I'm pretty sure some left-wing activist judge in New York City is going to say it's okay. It's probably end up going to have to go to a state judge. I'm hoping a state judge will deny the law. But I'm pretty sure if it goes to federal, it's going to end up going, maybe it'll go to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court better strike this down, because this is something, same thing like with the OSHA. It's not about the mandate. It's about giving the power to the federal government. Here, it's about, if you allow the city to do this, it's going to bleed over into the rest of the elections. It's not going to stay local. Okay. That's how these mandates started. They started locally, and then the federal government was like, and Joe Biden's like, oh, look at all these, look, it's working. Now we're going to do it federally. That's what's going to go on. It's incrementalism. It's going to start small, and then it's going to start with the cities. Okay, it's going to work to cities, counties, then states. Once it gets enough states, then it's going to go federal. That's what they're going to do. And then that's it. They'll let any illegal into the country, so as they know they're going to vote Democrat. That's the problem. That's the whole, if most of the immigrants voted Republican, it'd be damn skippy that the Democrats would be against illegal immigration. But they know that these people come in, they're desperate, they're poor, and they're going to vote for the party that's going to give them free stuff, give them free college, free money, free food. That's what they're going to do. They're bribing us with our own tax money. Anyways, so if you're in New York City, you got to write your, this shouldn't be a left or right issue. If you're a Democrat, you should still be against this. It shouldn't be something you're okay with. So, write to your city council and let them know what you're against. Organize people against this stuff, because the progressives in that city are ruining it. And I'm sure this is an issue that it shouldn't just be a left-right issue. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm the Right Rican. You can follow me here on YouTube and Rumble. On social media, you can interact with me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, all those, Getter, Parler, all of them. You name it, I have it. All right. That being said, have a good one.